Eduardo here in Long Island, New York, with a friend of a friend. I met Sal about a year ago. Sal, could you just introduce yourself for the viewers here?
Yes, I'm Sal from Long Island, New York. Crazy world over here. No matter what you do, it's never enough. Long Island hustle and bustle, you know?
Absolutely, definitely got Long Island showing up in the house today. I'm out here from Scottsdale, Arizona. We had met last time, think about a year ago, the last time that I had come out. You had been dabbling in a couple of different things. So kind of explain for the viewers a little bit about what you dabble in and what you're working on right now.
Yeah, so it started in 2020. I really started digging deep. What really inspired me. Changed my view on a lot of things. And I started figuring out that I could make a lot more money, with my money.
Sure.
I was kind of sitting on cash. I was buying a lot of gold, was buying a lot of silver at the time.
A lot of raw material.
Yes, commodities has definitely been my thing since I was a little kid. I was very young. My grandpa was having me rake the leaves at the neighbors' houses, do the gutters, all that type of thing.
Sure.
And I remember when I was a little kid, he would always pull $1 out of his pocket and like, this is garbage. And I could never wrap my head around it because I had no money, and sure enough, I'm down here and I kind of very much understand where he's coming from.
Sure, absolutely. So as far as like what sectors you're delving into right now, I think we had talked about your affliction for crypto. We had talked about your dabbling in construction and things of that nature. You could delve a little bit into that about what you have to offer, what you're looking at as far as investing and things of that nature.
Yeah, sure. So pretty much, I got a government job. I'm making consistent cash flow with that. And I do have a company with my brother. We do tile bathrooms, kitchens, floors, all on those lines. My sector that I'm very much triggering at this very moment, and for about the last, I really started hitting it in 2016. Really dug deep in 2022 after I pulled a lot of profits in 2021. Sat on the sidelines, I created a thesis, strategy and the whole thing. As soon as it hit about 19,000, I started really hitting it, dug deeper, 17,000.
And you're talking about Bitcoin in general?
Yeah, the whole market as a whole.
Okay,
I really find the higher quality tech companies.
Sure.
And Bitcoin, yes, definitely. It is one of a kind. People do see it as however they see it. People got wrecked over the last couple of years, so they're very upset. But you have to do very much due diligence in this space because you will hurt yourself bad.
Absolutely. Investing in things that you're not a professional in and being educated in.
Absolutely.
It's pretty easy to lose money when you're not in the market or educating with other local business professionals and seeing what's going on at the end of the day. For me, it's awesome to hear the kind of the backstories of why people had chose to go into specific sectors opposed to other and choose to invest in certain markets. We've got real estate, stocks, we've got, you hear about raw materials and things of that nature. What stuck out about those in particular for you to make the jump and be like, okay, I'm going to specialize in this and go after this type of asset? If you could explain.
Absolutely. So in 2019, I was pretty much grinding my ass off nonstop. I still am, realistically. I kind of broke down everything that I owned at that point, and I wasn't really concentrating on the money. I was more looking at the percentages on what was really growing at the most rate.
Sure.
And I owned a lot of Ethereum at the time, and Ethereum was definitely at a percentage rate outpacing the gold, outpacing the silver. I own copper, I own all these things, and Ethereum was, turning my eye like crazy. Sure enough, through my research nonstop every single day, coronavirus started coming across my crosshairs,
Sure.
And I said, wow, something's coming at America that's going to potentially change things for a lot of us, and
That it did.
it did. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of research from about 2016 on a price out for millennials and Gen Z on housing and all these, things that grow money for boomers and older people that are older than us. And Ethereum really did change my perspective. Right now, I was buying in a lot at 80, 100, 60, all these numbers that are very low. Now it's sitting at 2,000. And to me, as an investor, I'm sitting back saying millennials and Gen Z are pretty much priced out of Ethereum already.
Sure.
$2,000 a coin, that's pretty expensive. It could take you, if you're doing 500 a week, it take you a month and a half just to get one in.
Sure, yeah.
That's a decent amount of time. And, people wrap their heads around crypto. They say, I'll spend this much on this amount of coins, but these coins are garbage. They're nothing, and half the times they do go to zero. So
a lot of volatility.
of course, you got to understand that's big thing will shake you to the core. The bottom of this.
That's the truth. I'm sure plenty of people that are watching today could possibly feel that. And that is all I bought in to Cardano or some other makeshift coin, and they're like, man, I just happened to get in at the wrong time and lost my butt.
In living in New York, we actually got Cardano introduced to us at $1.
Sure.
Where I was looking at Cardano, which 10 cents, and I loved it, like everything about it. Loved the CEO Charles. I was like, damn, I need this, but I wasn't trying to go off market and use a VPN, use all these things to potentially lose it after I purchased it. So as soon as it hit Coinbase, it released on us at $1, and I did unload a lot of money, and I am down in that position. I have a lot of faith in Cardano in the long term for sure. I do think their developments are gonna make a big impact in a lot of different things that I would love to speak about now, but I don't want to make people nervous.
Sure, absolutely. Definitely a lot of nervousness around crypto.
Absolutely, yes.
Speculation on, the non-conventional investment strategy of crypto market. I mean, you've got all these big highfalutin educators teaching about real estate and all this kind of stuff. There's not that many people that are willing to step out on the ledge and say, dude, there's real money to be made in crypto, and this is kind of how. And it sounds like that you had some sort of algorithm or thesis that you have, and that's an interesting topic. Maybe you could explore a little bit of that if you can.
Absolutely.
Of what that looks like.
So once again, I was very much in deep with the coronavirus. I was very nervous. I was nervous about my mom. I was very nervous about my grandma.
Sure.
And at the same time, my mind was always ticking on money. So as the time went on, I got the opportunity to sit home, no working, no everyone sit at home. And I said, this isn't right. I've been studying money printing, Federal Reserves, and fractional reserve banking, monetary policy, and all these things for all these years already. I was already in bed, with all this information.
Well educated in the financial market, in other words.
As soon as they started really printing heavy, Donald Trump printed 10 trillion.
What was the statistic? They printed 60% of all money ever in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
The money in existence.
Pretty much,
60%.
Like 40 trillion in a year. That's you got to be very prepared for the future when you see things like that. So back to my thesis was, okay, let me dig in my head really hard and figure out where's the money going to flow. And I went balls to the walls on Ethereum or Bitcoin. By the time I started levering into the market, it was already at I'd say 12,000 Bitcoin. ETH was at 80 when I started hitting it really hard. And sure enough, people were calling me crazy. What are you doing? I was getting
everybody has it in.
Yeah, of course. I was getting all the stimulus checks, every stitch. Sure, on my weekly pay.
And a lot of people were doing the same thing. Caught you at the same time, getting stimulus checks, investing that money.
Yeah.
So a lot of people doing the same thing.
Sure enough, I didn't know exactly where it was going. I didn't have a crazy thesis. I had 100,000 in the crosshairs, but as time went on, we went through 2021, and I was like, "Wow, this is getting really big," like. And I thought, oh, the Super Bowl, and I was like, "This is, the Uber drivers. I'm going to New York City, grab a donut," and everyone was talking about donuts cool, and I'm like, okay, well, this thing's on bubble, we're in a bubble. So, sure enough, at around 63,000, I started hammering sell. I never sold ETH, and I never sold Bitcoin. Still to this day, I still own it from 2016. Still holding to that. Not because I didn't want to take the profits, more along the lines of anxiety of missing out. Like I just told you, the price out. It really did drop in 2022 to around the 900 area. The Ethereum, I hammered that. But other than that, I see Ethereum really scaling over the years to come at a different level. On a Bitcoin level, this thing is going rapid pace. And I've been seeing that for the last 5 years that I've owned it, so why sell it? This thing is making me money every year. We're at a bad time right now. You got to expect, for that. Exactly. I'm not going to sell my position. That's what I made the decision of, and that was it. No one's selling.
I mean, that he's sleeping in. That's a man, that's a man's man, that's a businessman, and you got to stand on what you believe in at the end of the day, even when others are running for the hills, and they may tell you, run for the hills, but listen, man, if you're the one that's right, at the end of the day, in a year or 2 year, however long your strategy is, and, the proof's in the pudding at the end of the day. It's great to have the wins to be able to reflect on and show people, hey, I kind of know what I'm talking about here or there. I may have lost one or two, or whatever. We all have some losers here and there as we go throughout this life as business people, or as humans, as young professionals out in the industry, conducting real business, real strategies, making real money. Listen.
People think it's ever, especially when things go up, or it's, oh, you got lucky. I'm at the point now where, 2022, I hammered in about 80% of my salary.
Nice.
I sold my car. I have no overhead. I have very little rent. I don't buy myself anything. I don't go out to dinners. I've been on 2 vacations in the last 9 years.
Focus.
Very much.
We're tapped in around here.
Very much so.
So I appreciate you giving me a little bit more intimacy, knowledge about your delves into crypto and wanting to branch out into construction, things of that nature. As far as your personal life at this time, are you doing anything to kind of keep yourself level? Do you kind of have a set schedule that keeps the clouds from coming over? Or because as young business professionals, listen, this stuff's not easy. We're out here grinding a lot, and it's important to put in healthy habits. I'm just wondering if you personally could share for the viewers here today on what healthy habits you found that work, and maybe some that haven't worked, if you could.
For sure. I've been on a strict diet for about 3 years now. I'm in the gym about 6 days a week. Honestly, this year has been a little rough for me. I've had a lot of mental fog, so many people swamping me. Sure, what do you do? Look, enjoy your life, enjoy your 20s, you're wasting your 20s away. Listen, I don't disagree at all. I should probably go out and adventure and do other things and live, like the... Sure. It's just like you said, it's very difficult to do these types of things. It costs a lot of money to make a lot of money.
Sure.
Highly disciplined, and consistency is key, and you don't really want to miss 1 week, because that 1 week could really cost you, I hammered in bottom, 15,700 was the bottom of Bitcoin. I was hammering that. Why? Because I was watching every single day, nonstop, all day long, every week, no matter what. Instead of going out, I have no hobbies. I don't do it. I'm Bloomberg. I'm on Yahoo Finance. I'm doing everything involved, to really, really make it. I have a financial goal that I want to meet by 30 years old. I know what it requires, and I'm really going after it.
That's awesome. It's great to hear goal-oriented individuals looking into the near future, doing the small wins daily to make sure that those stack to what they're envisioning here in the next couple years. It sounds like you're on the right track, brother.
Sure.
It's great to see me, as myself, I specialize in investing in manufactured home notes, and it's great for myself to educate on all of the different avenues that an investor is going to entertain.
Yep.
From the raw materials to crypto to stocks to multifamily to Section 8 housing. There's all these different avenues, and for us as businessmen to be out in the market and networking with other savvy business individuals and looking at the different sectors that people are investing in, it makes us that much more of a savvy business or educated individual because we know what's going on in the market. We see
You want to know that.
all day. We're talking to people that are making real money in crypto and real money in stock, real money in real estate. And for me, I'm truly blessed to even be here today, to be able to explore and educate and be successful. And I'm sure you could feel the same.
Absolutely. How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Nice.
So today's November 21st, Tuesday. I'm 29 years old. Turned 29 this year. How old are you now?
27.
27 years old. So we're not even 30 yet. And there's a lot of people, I think, in the world who could agree that being this young and seeing possible success of this magnitude is no small feat. So I'd like to commend you today and reassure you that, we're on the right path. Because at any given time, we may get down on ourselves because we're not where we want to be at. But listen, man, again, it's the small wins and the healthy habits that we create on a weekly, daily, and monthly basis to reach our 5, 10, 20-year goals.
Yep.
So, Sal, again, I appreciate you being here today. If you could possibly give one small piece of advice to individuals that may be facing hardship or seeing their Bitcoin lose money and have faith that know that it's there's a strategy behind. If you could give some small piece of advice to someone starting out or looking up to you on your social media, I think that they would appreciate that.
Yeah, so if I was you, I would honestly stay resilient. You got to stay confident. If you want to take in this type of strategy, you have to really stay consistent, mainly because you will eventually in time understand what Bitcoin really is. Bitcoin is not fiat currency. It's not gold, it's not silver. There's only 21 million and that's it. So after that 21 million is mined, which is going to take over 100 years. It's very hard to explain, very technical, but
Sure.
Right now you have about 19 million in supply already out there. Thousands and thousands have taken away, scammed, they're gone. Sure, they're in the crypto space, they call it. At the end of the day, buy a little bit. If you're a baby boomer, I suggest you buy $20, $30 a week for your kids. Don't look at it. You don't got to look at the price. Me, myself, I have a lot of money in this market and I don't need to look at the price because the price will turn your stomach. You won't be able to sleep at night.
It's hard. It's hard not to look at the price. Everyone wants to look at their phone every 20 minutes and see where it's at. You got to be cold in what you know, and
you have to be confident.
Steadfast, as they say.
It is not everyone. There's another very big inconceptual, I should say, is it's an inflation hedge. It is not an inflation hedge. I'll be the first one to tell you it is an inflation solution, because inflation is already baked into the cake. It's been here since 1920 and on. We're just at the worst point of it now.
Sure.
Over the years that will come, it will only get worse due to money expansion, money printing, and all these things that are going to inevitably happen. And as those series keep happening, Bitcoin will keep getting more attractive. for example, in March, you had two very big banks collapse, and
which was major headline.
Yeah,
Sure.
Bitcoin doubled up within a week because, as you're hearing and seeing now, you're seeing BlackRock, you're seeing institutions step into this realm because it is a flight to safety and it is a flight to quality. You know, holding cash is no longer, you know, my grandmother, my grandpa, save your money, sure, put it under the covers. Yeah. Those days are long over. You know, work harder for sure, but you gotta work smarter. You gotta really, really dig your head into the books and figure out where are we going in the 10-year frame. You can look at the price action of Bitcoin every 30 minutes if you really want to drive your head crazy, but where is this thing going in the 10-year frame? That's what I'm really concentrated on.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought that up because within the next 10 years, and I think within a very even shorter amount of time, I know that they're trying to roll out the CBDC, the central banking digital currency, which is a market shakeup from the biggest gangsters on the planet, the American government, which, you know, is an interesting idea because we just printed however many trillions of dollars. It seems like they're trying to really figure out how to wipe that away.
Definitely.
Which they're trying to snap their fingers and create their own digital currency. I'm wondering if you have any specific thoughts, what you've heard, you know, concerns, if you could.
So obviously, the government doesn't want you to really be buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Sure, you know, in my point of view, it's going to be one of those situations in the near future, in the shorter term, where they do roll that out, because it is already introduced. You know, you're in really like phase one of it. No one's really talking about it, but it's out there already. It's going to be one of those situations that we realized in 2020, where when the government tells you to not go buy guns, and then the gun stores have lines wrapped around the block. You know, sure, it's the same exact thing. Bitcoin is the counterparty to really, I guess you could say, hedge the CBDC. The CBDC is very much controlled. The blockchain, decentralized technology of Bitcoin is controlled, but it is controlled by a network of hundreds and hundreds of people that need to approve the transactions. When you have a CBDC, that's more along the lines of, you know, the government's paying you that either that day because inflation's so bad that you need to have your funds in your hand that day, or you can say that week you get paid. Okay, now your money expires by this day, so go out and spend it now.
Right.
So when you hear these things, it scares the shit out of people. I don't blame them. I'm fearful as myself because it's just like, where is this world turning to? But in the sense of CBDCs, I do think that it's very much more bullish for Bitcoin, because you know, I could send you any amount of Bitcoin right now. I could send you $20 million with the Bitcoin as we sit here, and not a single, you take that, right? Hey, listen, not a single person here. As long as it's clean on the blockchain, it's good. Right. You know, we can hop on a plane with 20 million on a ledger or on your phone. No problem at all. You have 20 million worth of gold and try to get on a plane.
Right.
You're going on that, you're going to jail. They're going to say, where are you going with this? You're going, put your hands in the back. So it's very much, it's controlled, but it's controlled by a network. It's very much trustworthy. It's resilient. And the only thing that you're pretty much experiencing right now is the volatility that shakes people out, gets people scared, and etc. You know, once the institutions and the banks really step in, which they are, you'll see volatility slow down. You know, will it be worth a couple 100,000 over the next 5 years? I say yes. You know, over 10 years, could it hit $1 million a coin? I do want to say yes, for sure.
Wow, that's ambitious. I love it. I've heard that before, and it's definitely a crazy thought, I think, and for sure it's not impossible by any means.
No.
It has the capability to do so. There's some scarcity of it in the market. There's a finite amount of coins. And there's definitely people that are wanting to figure out different strategies outside of residential real estate and stocks to hedge their bets. As they say, this is all kind of gambling at the end of the day.
For sure.
And how do you hedge your bets? Well, you diversify across different asset classes, and that's what the richest of the rich have been doing for their, entire existence. So, hey, Sal, I appreciate having you here today. It was great to catch up with you. We're here in Long Island, New York representing episode 2 of the podcast. It's the Go for Launch here. Alden Bojardo, mobile mailbox money, and we cash flow in manufactured home notes. If you're looking for opportunities or want to talk to Sal here, reach out to him direct or visit available opportunities at mobilemailboxmoney.com. Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Nice.